Samsung's Galaxy S still tops Consumer Reports smartphone ratings, but not the model you'd think. I'm Glenn Doreen, electronics editor, and I'm here with my counterpart, Maria Raricic, who's the head of electronics testing, and we're in our smartphone labs where we have just finished up with the Samsung Galaxy S6, and we found some surprising results. So Samsung's Galaxy S series has always done pretty well in our ratings. The new ones are a significant departure from the strategy that Samsung's had in the past, right? They're really focused on design. They have this glass back and front on both of them. These phones actually didn't do as well in our testing, did they?
Right, the S5 is still the top phone in our ratings. These were down actually almost very equal to the iPhone, and you can see that there's a lot of design features in there that look like an iPhone.
To me, what's fascinating is that the previous generation of Samsung phone is actually, according to our ratings, a better pick than the current generation is.
Yeah, we
right?
would normally expect the new ones to surpass the predecessor, but in this case it didn't.
You can't take these phones apart anymore, and my understanding is that kind of impacted it, didn't it?
Yeah, because it doesn't have a removable battery, which we like in a phone. It gives people more ability to do things with the phone. It doesn't have a ability to add extra memory. There's no memory slot in these phones as opposed to in the S5. It also had slightly less battery life than the S5 as well. Another thing that the S6 doesn't do that the S5 did is it's not water resistant. On the other hand, the S6s had some capabilities that were more than the S5. Rapid charge, and they also have wireless charging capability on both the Qi and the PowerMat standards.
So that means that if you go into some sort of coffee shop where they have wireless charging, you don't need to know ahead of time what standard your phone supports. Samsung has traditionally thrived by being an anti-iPhone, right? They usually had bigger screens. They had this upgradability where you can add memory, swap out the batteries. For people that really did value being able to swap out the battery and upgrade the memory, maybe now new competitors that were struggling to compete against Samsung in the Android space now have an opening.
I think the idea that you can, you want to add the memory and be able to replace the battery, some people like to be able to have that flexibility. I think other people really won't mind and won't care that they cannot do that anymore.
A person who's in the market for a new smartphone could actually do very well by picking the previous generation of Samsung Galaxy S, the S5, and potentially saving even some money. So it'll be interesting to see whether Samsung succeeds with its new strategy that prioritizes design at the expense of some of the functionality.
In a year, we'll find out whether Samsung decides to stay with this type of design for the S6 or whether they'll go back to the philosophy of the S5.
Which, for the time being, is still at the top of our ratings.